Hello, you're here for one more lesson of this Flex CAD training course, and the topic for today will be the general parameters of 3D elements. In a very similar way as to the elements, each of the 3D elements that you can build on this 3D environment has a certain set of parameters. Some of them are common to all objects of the system, regardless of their dimensions, colors, whatever. And others are specific to 3D elements. We will see what we have for these general parameters because they are very standard and very easy concepts to understand. So I will make two elements, one box, very easy, very straightforward, and another one, a sphere that I will push a little to the side. Okay, and we have now these elements. On the history tree, we can come and with the right mouse click we can simply open parameters, and we have this dialog box where these parameters that we need to see are summarized and are available for changing. So first we can have a name, so we can say it whatever we want, and what we will do, it will reflect the new name of the object. Then we have this interesting feature here, the suppress, which has two states. Okay, and this is used for excluding the 3D model in recalculation. So in some situations, for example in assemblies, so it's interesting to have the possibility to exclude a part or an element from this recalculation. We can give a name to the object also, so if we give it here, it will change in these three. Then we can set these characteristics like the level, the layer, which are things that are similar to the 2D side. Then the quality of display. This for this box is not very easy to see because it has straight lines, but if we see a little closer the sphere, you see these edges. It's not very perfect in terms of display. So if I open now the sphere, if I change the quality, I will say ultra coarse first. You see very rough, and if I do the opposite now, the ultra fine, I will not enter on the user defined because in here you can set your own parameters. So ultra fine, and now you are okay with the display of this round object. Then you can set transparency, you can set a value or slide in here, for example doing something like this. Display in wireframe, or simply do this hide. And the hide is not the same as suppress because it will vanish from the scene, but it will not. It will continue to be considered on the recalculation. So this is a little different. Then you can apply some textures or some colors to the object. So for example, if I apply, let us say, marble, and you can set the parameters that you have for it, so you can set all these things, textures, etches, physical properties, whatever, because even on the side of the physical properties, this is important what you are applying due to the calculations of weight. So if you apply this, see, it will gain the structure of the material you are applying. Let us apply steel again. And on this side, what is important, it is seen. Then you have this operation that you can change a little for the element. It's not in some objects it is interesting to have the possibility to modify it here. And finally you have this set of things about transformations, where you can set a group of transformations that you define below here. For example, you can add, you have one X transformation, because if you remember when we created the sphere, it was in the center of the work plans and we slide it in a little to this side. So if I say, for example, Y and let's say 20, okay, it moved, okay, and let's open it again. So all of these transformations here are inside this group, but I can set a new one. I can set a new one, and I can say in this particular case I want one in Z, for example. Okay, and now I can play a little with this, because for example I can suppress this, and I can play a little with these transformations. One very interesting thing also that we have available with these transformations, it is to connect these values with variables, and then this becomes interesting. We've seen a little about this on the 2D, but we will talk again later in this course about the variables and about the possibilities also that we have on the 3D side. So in terms of general parameters for the 3D objects, these are the things that was my goal to show in this lesson. I hope the examples were clear enough for your understanding.